right, so we are back on another edition of Zaylink. I'm your host, Allizae, and I have a special guest today, Rodeo Promo.
Hey.
How you
Yes.
doing, guys?
And we'll give his intro shortly and kind of get to know why he's on this show. You know, he's here for a good reason. So again, it is Zaylink. If you have questions about intimacy, relationships, love, sex, all that good stuff that we people go through, send your email questions to zaylinks@gmail.com. Send me a DM on Allizae Vlogs, my Instagram. If you feel comfortable interacting with me directly, I'm all ears. You can also send voice notes and just send your inquiries because it's a safe space and your privacy is respected. And
Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Zaylink.
yes, at Zaylink, and also follow the other networks associated as well. Yeah, we love Hip Hop Network and Six Views TO and Friday Ricky Dred.
Hey.
And Rodeo Promo, and his handles will also be available shortly. So we are going to start the show off again with another female artist with some banging music. What do we got?
We got a track here by Candy K. Track is called Handle Me.
Can you?
Talk about it spicy.
Right, don't you gonna switch sides if you really bad it, baby? We could do it all night.
Don't stop. I was feeling that. That was nice. That was so mellow and chill because she has that rap flow and that soft spoken R&B feel. So shout out Candy K. Yes. So let's jump right into it. So Rodeo.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to call this not Rodeo Promo, but Rodeo Solo. Because promoters, entertainers, everybody in the industry needs love. And sometimes, sometimes we're available, sometimes we're single. But you are probably one of Toronto's most eligible bachelors right now.
I am the most eligible bachelor right now.
So Zaylink is also a space for setups and hookups. So if you like rodeo.
I cook. I
And he
make money. I clean. I got a great sense of humor.
And everybody's used to seeing you in the spotlight from, wow, your career has actually spanned quite a bit in regards to promotions, events. Most recently, you're doing drive-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right now in the COVID time. I'm actually the only person doing legitimate events. Right now, there is nobody else doing anything in the winter right now.
Okay.
As
So
big as the city might be.
so that's and also that's an engaging experience for couples, right? And groups and small groups, of course, following social distancing. But it's an intimate thing to kind of do the traditional drive up to a movie and go on a special date. I think.
Well, in the summertime, when we did the first one with the dancehall queen, people brought pickup trucks and they were sitting on the back of the pickup trucks in the lawn chair with comforters. So in the summertime, it's a different experience. In the wintertime, you could have a different experience as well.
Warm and cozy, I'm sure,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? Get a little closer, keep the heat off, keep each other warm. You can have a good experience in the wintertime.
Okay.
Can I throw a quick question in there?
Go ahead.
When the COVID first hit, and because you're a club promoter, so like your bread and butter comes from people being outside together.
Yeah.
Did your heart drop, bro?
Immediately, I knew that my revenue stream has come to a halt. And when COVID dropped, I was actually promoting the Shensia show for March 28th.
Oh, yeah.
And the lockdown was March 21st,
Damn.
a week before. And I was also promoting another show with Stylo G and Jada Kingdom. Both
Big
those
names.
shows got canceled on March 15th. And, if you're in the business, you know that it's not just a cancellation. That means deposits, everything. The artist is now sitting on all this money that I expected to get back within a week.
The front end.
Yeah, they still have that money.
Yeah, because you gotta pay half up front.
They still have it. And I called and I'm like, yo, COVID and don't look like anything's going to go on. And, yo, you think you can run back the deposit to all three artists? You know what I'm saying? I'm on, I didn't get no money back from nobody. I'm not saying that in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Shenseea, I love you. I did you so much time. You know what I'm saying? Jada Kingdom, she my girl. Style OG, but I just gotta roll with the punches right now. You know what I'm saying? Gotta
That's
roll with the
rough.
punches.
Okay, so again, we said that you're a club promoter, but I think people need to know the real kind of level of promotion that you operate on, because it ain't no small scale stuff.
Well, I used to be, respectively, a club promoter, and I had events Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I had on each night, I had the biggest numbers at the biggest clubs, and there was no issues. Like Monday, if anybody's online, there was Remix Mondays. I was running Gravity, Sunday Night Raw. We're doing Saturday at Tonic, Live to Air. We're doing Friday at Industry and all these other spots. We're doing Thursdays. I brought Thursdays to Scarborough, and I did Rumors for a few years. Brought Jagged Edge there. Brought a whole bunch of superstars to Scarborough. Big up Scarborough in the house. So, I'm a West man. But, I brought life to Scarborough,
Yeah.
I brought life to Scarborough. But there came a time when I figured it's time to transition. I wasn't satisfied in being a club owner. And to be honest, when social media came about, as a promoter, I'm a little bit more plugged with the direction the scene is going. And when social media started to really take foot, I realized that one of my purposes was being eliminated. And as a promoter, one of my purposes was to facilitate a safe and friendly environment where people can meet.
Yeah, for sure.
Now that becomes the DM. I don't know how safe it is. It's really friendly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But because everybody could go around, let's say, not going to a club and standing beside a whole bunch of drug dealers with money, popping bottles, and they didn't have to go spend a whole bunch of money on clothes that they couldn't afford or didn't want, and girls didn't have to dress up. And I saw that all it took for me to be completely wiped out is the DM. That's what I call it amongst my friends, is that the DM technology to really kick in, that could almost completely eliminate me from the mix. So I decided I needed to do events that people couldn't say no to.
Yeah.
So I sat down with I have a team. I sat down with my team. Big up Play to Win. You know what I'm saying? I sat down with my team, and the beginning of the transition was when we did popcorn or popcorn for, you know what I'm saying? I'm Canadian, like I was born in Jamaica, but yeah, popcorn. So the beginning of the transition was when I did popcorn at Rebel. And a quick story at Rebel, we expected about 4,500 people. Big up Oren and the whole Rebel crew. I know we're still, but it's all love. And we ended up with 5,700 people.
Wow.
For that popcorn show. And at that time, I realized that, not only I'm going to stay strictly reggae and dancehall events, I realized I could pull stronger numbers in that genre than hip-hop could pull in their genre. Although, like, if you know me, my first show, very long time ago, before Instagram, before
When was that?
Before MySpace, before MSN. I'm going really far back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go so like before MySpace, there's something before that. Yeah, there was something before that. So you know what I'm saying?
Was there an internet before that?
No,
Holy shit!
No, it could have
I'm
been.
bugging.
No, he's right. Like this was literally before internet. My show was Mad Lion and KRS-One and Grandmaster Flash and the
Son
Furious.
boy, no need to worry.
You understand what I'm saying?
As long as I got my 9.
You know what I'm saying? And without bouncing from story to story, the reason why or how that KRS-One thing came together is like I was in the streets, was a thug, a bunch of thugs around me, and I'm just being straight. You know what I'm saying? As simple as you might see me, I was in and out of jail, and we were always on CP24, and things was looking really, really rough for the squad. But I love music. You know what I'm saying? I really love music. You know, my squad like the trenches, but I love music. So one day I decided I'm gonna be a promoter. It's like I just decided that, and I did this party on Kipling Avenue. And what I did on Kipling is I rented out an apartment.
Oh, wow.
No, I rented an apartment. Somebody moved out the apartment, so I rented out the entire apartment, and I stocked the apartments with speakers in each room, because I'm maximizing. And them times, even though I was in the trenches, I get love. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good guy. You might like people like no. I used to get love in the streets. So what I did is, them times you could go from block to block. So I went from block to block with this little cheap flyers and this cheap black and
kind of
white
paper?
flyer. Trust me, definitely not. No glossy. There was no glossy involved. So no glossy involved. So I went Tan Ridge, Pelham Park, Markham and Eglinton, Glendower, Galloway. I went everywhere. You know, I was stomping them times. You know what I'm saying? And the streets knew me. So I invited all these blocks to that 3-bedroom apartment. And I went out and I bought some drinks. You know, it's before our host time called Light and Easy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is how I'm gonna make my money. I'm gonna make everybody buy some Light and Easy. So I stocked it up like I knew what I was doing, which I really didn't. It was my first event. So I was late, but when I arrived, the apartment was full at 11 o'clock. But not only the apartment was full, they broke out all the lights in the hallway, and they were now partying in the hallway. So now the party led from the 3 apartments to the living room, all the way to the apartments. You understand? And I'm like, man, this is looking really, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a promoter. I'm just a little street thug. So about a half hour later, a friend came up and said, yo, he tried to get upstairs. He can't get upstairs because they broke out all the lights on the second floor. And now the party's on the second floor of 2667 Kipling. So I'll let people know. So the party's now on the entire second floor. All the lights are broken out because I put some stomping speakers in there still. I love music, you know what I'm saying? And that will get into the reason why they call me Rodeo. I'll explain. But I love music, you know what I'm saying? So I put in a system in there that, you know, you could hear literally down the block. So all you had to do was hit out the lights, and there was a party. At the beginning, like midtime, about midnight, I heard a banging on the door, and I opened the door, and it was some undercover police, a whole bunch of them, about 5 of them. They're like, yo, but there's nobody in the hallway. And I'm looking, it's a dark hallway, but there's nobody there. They're like, yo, we have to come into this apartment. That time there's 300 people in the apartment. I'm like, yo, I'm here with a few of my closest friends. But 300 people, 3 of my closest friends. So I'm here with a few of my closest friends, and like, you know, I'm educated. As thug as I was an educated little nigga. So I'm like, you can't come into my apartment. You know what I'm saying? They're right. Well, look at this door. And then my apartment was right by the stairway door, and the door had about 11 bullet holes in them. I'm like, wow, because the music was so loud. Remember what I told you? I didn't hear 11 bullets. And they said, if you look down the hallway, there was a shootout in here. So we have to come in your apartment.
Wow.
And I said, well, you can't come in this apartment. You know what I'm saying? You need to get a warrant because I'm not allowing you in the apartment. They pulled me outside, and they pulled me in the staircase, and they're like, yo, what's your name? So I told them my name, and they're like, yo, we know a guy on Kipling that drives a red rodeo. You see how it comes? You see how the story's tying in? So
The introduction.
Again, I was a thug, but I was smart. That rodeo wasn't in my name. Like years later, I could say that shit. That truck wasn't in my name. I'm like, I don't own no truck. I don't own nothing. Here's my license, right? If you see a vehicle attached to this truck, then you could say that. But right now, I don't own nothing. You're not coming to my apartment. I don't own a truck. You got the wrong guy. And you know what I'm saying? But I was a thug too, so I wasn't as nice and complimentary as I was like rude about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The words wasn't as pretty. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at them and I said, yo, do you have anything else to say? And the others looked at me, and I went back in the apartment.
With your friends.
And even now, I don't go on the mic, but at that time, I went on the mic and said, yo, B, to everybody. I've always said this B thing. I'm like, yo, B, right now, the hallway, the police want to come in here, but we are not finishing this party. You know what I'm saying? We're running this party. But if I come back to the mic, I had a plan still. If I come back to the mic, know that the music is going off and prepare to walk out that door. About 10 minutes later now, boom, boom, boom. And I look through the peephole. It's not the undercover. It's not the undercovers now. Now it's task force with the little beams and shit. looking at the peephole. I ran back to the mic. I'm like, people, remember what I said? And I turned off the music. But when I turned off the music, these guys started throwing their guns over the balcony. I remember Kipling, right? Rexdale's there, Mount Olive's there, Jamestown's over there. And then I invited, you see what I said? I invited every block, right? I invited every block. So it's not because they weren't war in there, but, them times blocks had love for each other.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, but at that time, the blocks threw that shit over the balcony. So after they finished flinging the stuff over the balcony, I went in the crowd and opened the door. And all 300 of us walked out the door, and I just walked with them. Remember, I rented the apartment from them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
place,
You have to understand the level of thuggery that was going on that time.
Thuggery.
You got to understand. So I rented the apartment.
Title.
Thuggery.
You know we got our own words.
I was waiting for that one. I was trying to figure it out.
You know we got our own words. So,
Okay, sorry. I don't want to cut off your
ahead.
story because it's a dope story.
Go ahead.
But we talking about sex on this show.